Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This week I wanted to discuss the topic of toxicity in female friendships. So it's a real juicy one. There's a lot to unpack, but it's something that I feel like all of us at one point or another had to deal with. As girls, we've all had a friend, a classmate, a flatmate, someone who's made us feel a little bit on edge and uneasy. So it's something that I really wanted to get into and discuss with you. If you guys haven't been to my page before, welcome. I'm Hamasa, and on this corner of the internet, I look at mental well-being and emotional well-being as well as personal development. So welcome to my page. Let's start. I mean, if you have toxicity in your friendships and they're quite obvious or you could see it, then you know what you're dealing with. But I feel like there is one type of friendships that could have most of us fooled, because they mask themselves as this amazing, helpful friend, but really there are a lot of traits that kind of drain your energy and a lot of things end up falling on your shoulders. So you just start feeling a little bit uneasy without actually knowing why. You can't put your finger on it, but you're just beginning to feel on edge and things are really, really one-sided. And that would be a covert female narcissist. Now, I've spoken about narcissism a lot over on my IGTV. I've put a link down in the description for you guys, but I will also post the narcissistic videos here on YouTube. If you followed my work before, then I've really unpacked the whole topic of narcissism into different categories and what they are, and one of them was the covert narcissist. And in essence, a narcissist is an unhealthy person who will do and use any manipulation tactic there is to get their narcissism supply, which is whatever it takes for them to make them feel good. So if it's a friendship, it's something that they're taking your time, your energy, compliments, whatever that may be. It's just a take. And a covert narcissist isn't that different. They also are in it to benefit out of that friendship, and that's why you feel this sense of uneasiness. As girls, we all have tendencies of being a little bit backhanded, a little bit snidey, a little bit bitchy, and all those things. And I feel like with your female friends, when things are not right, or you feel like someone's intentions are unclear towards you, then your gut and your feeling, your intuition warns you and tells you. So you start feeling just on edge around this person, and you don't know why, because when you look at them, they're a great friend to you, but then at the same time you are constantly emotionally drained and you don't really know why. So let's look at the traits of this kind of friend, and if that's around you, then you really need to be conscious of it and set some healthy boundaries and make sure that you're keeping yourself and your energy protected. So what are the traits of a covert female narcissist in friendships? The key word here is covert. Now, as an overt narcissist, someone who's out in the open, someone who's blatantly a narcissist, you have this sense of grandiose belief, look at me, out there. But someone who's a covert narcissist, a female covert narcissist, they tend to be a little bit more reserved, a little bit more shy, a lot more conscious of what people think of them, and very sensitive to the feedback from people. They just appear to be a very kind, compassionate, caring individual and a good friend. So you really have no reason to doubt them or question them. But there are three things that really stand out if that's the sort of person your friend is. So the three main points to look out for is that they're always the victim. They've always been dealt the bad hand. They do nothing wrong. It's never their fault, and they're always the victim. Second thing is that they cannot handle any type of criticism in any capacity. You could say it in the nicest possible way. It's taken very personally. It's taken out of context. They're defensive, they deflecting all the things that you're saying to them instead of listening to it as criticism or just feedback. It is just, we're at war now. That's the second thing. Third thing is that they're extremely needy. They are clingy and needy in the friendship. So those are the main three things to watch out for. Now, what this means for you in the relationship, what it means is that you are continuously carrying most of the weight of this relationship. You are the one that has to hold it together. You're the one who has to be the bigger person. You're the one who has to apologize. You're the one who has to rationalize their behavior. You are carrying that weight. Don't ever expect a covert to be carrying any part of that relationship. And what I mean by that is that they're never complimentary towards you. They're never happy for you. They don't give you that space for you to be emotionally open. It's always a very one-sided thing because they're always the victim. So therefore they are the ones who always need to be fussed over. Don't ever expect this covert friend of yours to be complimentary towards you or genuinely supportive of what you do. Because remember, when they're a covert narcissist, they already suffer with an extremely fragile ego and an extremely low self-esteem. So if they're not feeling good about themselves and they're not proud of their achievements and what they're doing, by no means they could ever potentially even have the capacity to see what you are capable of doing, your talents, compliment you, be supportive of you, encourage you, and, feel like I'm healthy, I'm happy, I'm content within myself, and therefore I could see all the goodness in you too. It's not like that. They can't have that space for themselves. They don't see themselves as those things. How could they possibly see you or be complimentary towards you or put you on a pedestal or push you? Because that would push them even lower, even further away. So one thing with a covert female friend, that you were never going to get that compliment, that push, that pedestal, that acknowledgement of what a good friend or what a good person you are. The relationships are never really balanced. It's always a take on one side, and it's not like my time to shine, then it's your time to shine, and it's a give and take. It's not that. It's very, very one way with a covert. And so they put on this act, this pretense that we're there for you, we're supportive of you, we love you, we're going to do what it takes, but it's never genuine. It's always with an agenda. So let's say that friend needs something from you. All of a sudden they're very, very emotionally attentive, and they're there and they're talking to you and they want to spend time with you. And then you see a pattern and you see that they're doing that because they need something, and then you do something for them or they get what they need and then they're off again. And that could happen because they have a hidden agenda, or that could happen because as a narcissist, that's what you do. You show a little bit of goodness, a little bit of kindness to just remind the person what it could potentially be, what it can be, and then you take it right back. So it's that love bombing side of narcissism, where you're gonna love bomb someone, give, and then the minute they let their guard down and they're comfortable with you, you're like, aha, I got them, so now I'm just gonna pull back and I'm just gonna chill and let them chase me. So that's one of the reasons why they're sometimes very nice and attentive, and so they mask that, and you seem to believe that this friend is amazing to you. They're doing it because they love you, but really it's because they have a hidden agenda. And when time comes to criticism, they get extremely defensive. Everything you say is deflated tenfold back at you. It's attack, instead of actually listening to what you have to say, what your issue is, how they can resolve it. And they just cannot take it. And the difference is, nobody can take criticism. Nobody likes to be criticized. Nobody likes to be picked on. But the difference between most people and a covert narcissist is that when we had a moment to ourselves and we had to think about what our friend or loved one had said, we can then probably see why they said it, or you can kind of analyze and really think about your actions and possibly take responsibility for them or change what your friend has a problem with. The difference with a covert is that they cannot do that. So they don't go home and think about what you've said or take that criticism and think, my friend's feeling this way about this, so let me work on that, let me fix it. It's more like, how dare they? People always say this, and I'm such a victim. And the reason they play this victim so well, so when it comes to criticism, if you criticize them, they're straight away victimized. So there's no working it out. There's no resolution. There is no them taking responsibility for anything they do. And the reason they play the victim so well is because it gets them sympathy. And sympathy is that narcissistic supply that I was talking about. A narcissist feeds off that. They need attention, affection, love, sympathy to survive. And they completely feed off that. So by them playing the victim all the time and playing it very well, people are always pouring empathy and sympathy and emotions into them. So they get that supply. So the minute you criticize them, they're the victim. So there's no ever reaching a resolution with a covert female friend. Not only reaching a resolution, but also obviously if you're playing the victim, then people don't have that many expectations of you. You know, you don't have to upkeep your emotional side of the relationship. You don't have to be there for anybody else because you're expecting everybody to be there for you. You're not pulling your weight. You're not necessarily being a healthy, present friend back. You're not reciprocating the things that you're taking off people. And I say this to you guys before, when you reach a stage where you're mentally strong and healthy and emotionally healthy, then if someone isn't on your level or they can't meet you at your emotional intelligence level, then it's very difficult for you to start rationalizing and making excuses for their behavior. Because as someone who's mentally strong and someone who's sure of themselves and knows their worth and value, they could very easily understand that, yes, okay, you've been through these issues, you've had these problems, and I feel for you and I want to help you get better. But that's the only thing I can do. I can help you help yourself, but I cannot do that for you. It's not my job, it's not my responsibility. So if someone comes with a lot of emotional baggage and they throw that on you and they expect you to fix it, and unfortunately as codependents or as very sensitive empaths, that's what we think that is our duty, to fix people's problems. And it's not. It's understanding that no, this person is just draining me. They're just dumping all this emotional energy on me and they're wanting me to fix it. And it's not my job. It is very easy to get tangled up in these sort of complex emotional relationships, because what ends up happening is this covert narcissist, because they're walking around feeling sorry for themselves and always victimizing themselves, is always like, oh, I look horrible, I look fat, I look skinny, I don't like what I look like, I don't like what I'm wearing, I'm not getting enough attention, this is not working out for me. And as a good friend, you tend to then be like, no, you know, you're fine, you're beautiful, you've got this, you could do this, I'm gonna help you, and I don't want you feeling like this, I don't want you to feel down, and I don't want you to doubt yourself. So that's why the relationships become so draining, because you're constantly compensating for them needing things from you. So you are constantly giving them that reassurance, that time, that energy, that compliment, whatever that takes, because you're a caring person and they're just sucking that energy out of you. So it's so important for us to suss out that if our friends around us make us feel a type of way, and we're aware of things and we see a pattern in this, so it's not a one-off. Like I said, everybody goes through stuff, everybody deals with things differently, and that's okay to go through it once or twice and then be there for your friend and your friend's there back for you, and that's it. But if it's a pattern of things and the relationship is very, very one way, and you begin to feel these things and you begin to see these things, then most likely you are dealing with someone who's a covert narcissist and they're just wanting their narcissistic supply of you. So this is why it's important for us to continuously work on ourselves and on our growth and our emotional and mental intelligence. Because when you start working on yourself and you start understanding yourself and in turn understanding other people better, it's very easy for you to suss out when someone plays this victim, covert narcissist around you. But not only that, you also are able to sift through the bullshit and just be like, okay, you know what? You are not on my emotional intelligence level, and therefore either meet me here or I'm not going to settle for any less, or rationalize your behavior and actions towards me because of some trauma that you dealt with in the past. When you're healthy and sure of yourself, you understand that you can sympathize with people, you could help them, you could support them, but you are not going to humor and entertain this whole victimhood mentality. That is not your job to fix, and that is not your place to step in and pick up the pieces and fix that and entertain it. If someone's feeling like a victim, then that's their issues that they need to look into themselves and see why they're feeling so victimized. It's not your place. Now, the reason I did this video is because I firsthand have had experiences with some of my ex-female friends that I've went through this, where it was masked as friendship and support and all the rest of it, but in reality there was a lot more hidden agendas, and there was a lot of like just, you know, really absorbing my energy and just draining me. I couldn't figure it out why I was feeling like that. And not just myself, my other female friends who are close to me. One of them is dealing with this right now with one of her friends. So it's not, there's no exceptions, you know, we all deal with things. And I just felt like this is the kind of character that a lot of us will probably come across, but because they mask it so well, we can't really figure out what it is and why we feel the way we do and whether the friendship's really genuine. And it needs to be discussed, and we need to be just more aware and more sure of ourselves and trusting our gut. And if something's not feeling right, then it's not right for a reason. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. Please subscribe to my channel, like and comment on this video, and please share this to anyone who you may feel that will benefit from this video. And I will see you again here soon. Mwah.